So why iguanas? These lizards are native to tropical regions and thrive in warm temperatures. When the mercury drops, their metabolism slows drastically, leaving them lethargic and vulnerable. In Florida, where iguanas have become an invasive species, residents are used to seeing them lounging on lawns, fences, and trees. But when temperatures dip into the 40s or lower, iguanas can become temporarily frozen and lose their grip on branches. This phenomenon has led to reports of iguanas plummeting onto sidewalks, driveways, and even cars, startling unsuspecting Floridians and, in rare cases, causing minor injuries. Meteorologists predict that the cold wave will persist across the eastern U.S. for several days, gradually warming toward the weekend. Florida's temperatures are expected to rise back into the 60s and 70s, which should bring iguanas back to normal behavior. Residents can expect a return to the usual wildlife patterns, with lizards moving about freely in the sunshine and birds resuming normal activity. Still, this brief period of unusual weather will be remembered as one of those rare events where Mother Nature and urban wildlife intersect in a surprising and memorable way. So, as Floridians bundle up and check their thermometers, it's worth keeping an eye on more than just the weather. Falling iguanas may sound funny, but they're a vivid example of how extreme temperatures impact both animals and people. This week's Cold Snap is a reminder that wildlife adapts, sometimes in unexpected ways, and that even in subtropical Florida, winter can make its presence felt in very peculiar and occasionally dramatic ways. Stay warm, stay safe, and maybe keep a helmet handy if you're walking under a tree. The National Weather Service and local authorities have issued warnings urging residents to be cautious while walking outside, especially under trees. While falling iguanas are generally not deadly, they can weigh several pounds, and the impact can hurt if one lands on a person or a pet. Experts stress that iguanas are harmless creatures. They don't attack humans, but their sudden descent is enough to make anyone jump. Some Floridians have even taken to wearing hats or avoiding areas with heavy tree coverage during the coldest parts of the day. This isn't the first time Florida has experienced cold-stunned wildlife. Iguanas, tropical fish, and even sea turtles can be affected when temperatures drop rapidly. In particular, large green iguanas, which can grow over 6 feet long, including their tails, are the most common to fall from trees. Animal control agencies report that after cold snaps, they often receive calls from concerned residents about iguanas lying motionless in yards or streets. The good news is that these creatures typically revive as temperatures rise, though for now, they can appear startlingly still. Meteorologists explain that the cold front moving across the eastern U.S. is unusually strong for this time of year. From Texas and the Gulf Coast up to the Great Lakes, residents are experiencing snow, ice, and record-low temperatures. Florida, normally known for its mild winters, is seeing temperatures drop into the 40s, particularly in northern regions like Orlando, Gainesville, and Jacksonville. This unexpected cold has created a ripple effect, from frozen pipes to wildlife behavior, including our tree-dwelling iguanas. Interestingly, this phenomenon has become something of a viral sensation on social media. Videos and photos of iguanas dangling from trees or lying motionless on sidewalks have been shared widely, often with humorous captions. But experts caution against laughing too hard. Handling a cold-stunned iguana improperly can injure both the animal and the person. If you find an iguana in this state, it's best to give it space and allow the sun and warmer air to naturally revive it. Animal control departments often advise residents not to pick them up with bare hands during extreme cold. Beyond iguanas, the cold weather has impacted other wildlife across the region. Birds, small mammals, and reptiles are all adapting to the drop in temperature. Some migratory birds are delaying their journeys north, while squirrels and raccoons are seeking shelter earlier than usual. Even fish in shallow ponds or canals are affected, with some species becoming sluggish. These changes in animal behavior serve as a visible reminder of how extreme weather affects ecosystems, even in urban areas where wildlife and humans coexist closely. For human residents, the cold front brings a mix of excitement and inconvenience. In northern and midwestern states, snow has disrupted travel, closed schools, and caused delays at airports. In Florida, while snow is rare, temperatures in the 40s can still lead to frozen pipes, frosted crops, and icy roads in certain areas. Floridians, who are typically unaccustomed to winter conditions, are advised to take precautions, cover plants, dress warmly, and drive carefully. And, of course, keep an eye on the trees if you're walking outside, just in case a suspended iguana decides to take an unexpected dive. Authorities emphasize that iguanas falling from trees are a temporary phenomenon tied directly to the cold. Once temperatures return to normal, the iguanas regain full mobility and resume their usual activities, like basking on fences, swimming in canals, or climbing trees. In fact, this event is not a sign of permanent harm to the population. It's simply an interesting interaction between weather and wildlife physiology. Still, the unusual sight can be shocking for anyone encountering a 6-foot lizard suddenly landing nearby. Homeowners in affected areas have taken creative approaches to protect themselves and their property. Some have placed tarps or outdoor mats under trees where iguanas are common, while others encourage the lizards to stay on their roofs or fences rather than overhanging branches. Schools and parks with significant tree coverage are also warning students and visitors about the potential hazard. Local news outlets have even covered iguana drops as a feature story, blending weather reporting with wildlife awareness in a way that's both informative and slightly entertaining. Hold on to your hats, Florida, and maybe your iguanas. Yes, you heard that right. As wintry weather sweeps across the eastern 2/3 of the United States, residents in Florida are being warned about a rather unusual hazard: falling iguanas. The chilly snap has caused many of these cold-blooded reptiles to become immobile, often dropping from trees in a state of temporary paralysis. While it sounds like something straight out of a cartoon, it's very real, and a reminder that winter doesn't play favorites, even in the Sunshine State. From the Great Lakes down to the Gulf Coast, this week's cold front is turning heads and shaking branches. Literally,